Hey there. I just got a little bit of rust on one of my putty knives and I wanted to share my method for maintaining my carbon steel putty knives. So anybody that doesn't use stainless steel knives, they may use carbon steel, and so these have a tendency to rust. One reason you'd use carbon steel over stainless steel is that they do have a little bit different feel, and they also are cheaper. So I didn't see any other videos on YouTube with people sharing tips and tricks, so I'm just going to do a short video on the methods that I use. So one thing to always be sure of is if you've got putty knives like these, you don't want to leave them in your mud pan like this after you wash them off, because you're going to have water pooling in there and that's going to increase your likelihood of getting rust. So you want to make sure your mud pan's upside down. And you also want to dry everything off first. You know, if you dry your putty knives off really well, I find that I don't really get much rust at all. But in the case that you do actually get some rust, I've always got with my putty knives a little sanding block like this, and this is all you really need to maintain them. So I've got just a tiny bit of rust on this little 3/4 inch putty knife, and basically, hopefully this is in focus here, I just rub that down. And as you can see, it's all cleaned up. And let's try that with the larger putty knife here. As you can see, we've got some good rust developed. All you need to do is rub that down. Taken care of. So let's do the other side quick. And you can also tune up the edge a little too if you want. And that's all I do to maintain my knives. It's pretty easy to do. These knives usually come with a little protective coating when you first buy them, but that quickly wears off. Another thing you can do is you could wipe this down with like an oil rag or some wax, something like that. To me, that's a little too much work, and also I worry a little bit about contamination of the mud. Maybe that's not a problem, but I find that just rubbing it down with a sanding pad like this is all that's really needed. Make sure to keep them dry, and hopefully that's a helpful tip.